Predictable success, mastering measurement for practice growth. Hey, everybody, it's Sensei Tosh here at MedPro Dojo. Let's go ahead and get started. I want to talk about the management paradox, the unseen cost of unmeasured results. I know a lot of you are not looking at this stuff. You're going through the motions day by day, hoping that it's going to work out at the end of the week. So if you don't measure it, you can't manage it. So I want to talk about the cost of unpredictability. There's revenue volatility. Frequent up and downs create financial instability, making it impossible to plan or expand or even hire the right team members. Operational stress. Unpredictable income places an immense pressure on practice owners and erodes teams' confidence in the business and for its future. I also see this too as owners. When you guys are so stressed out on the unpredictability of your revenue side, it begins to affect your performance. If you're still holding a key position in the office, such as case management, or even providing the adjustments, people can feel what's going on with you and your worries. So take some time to really look at what's going on every single day. Yes, I'm saying every single day. We want to look at the health of your practice. Strategic visibility. We must measure through key performance indicators and sub-indicators. Call them statistics, whatever you want to call. You need to be looking at those things for your organization. Some of the key performance indicators are revenue growth, total billing versus collections, and revenue per patient. Even if you are not billing to insurance, there's still a dollar amount associated with each service that you're providing in the office. You need to look at your production, what you delivered in a daily basis, to what you actually collected. And then we can look at collections divided by patient visits is going to let you know how much every single encounter is. You can do this with any type of business. It's not just in the clinical setting. Visit volume, predictable scheduling based on patient flow sub-indicators. So we look at the sub-indicators as the small things that add up to the key performance indicators. So how many calls are being made, how many reschedules, how many makeup days. All of those are sub-indicators that get you the main key performance indicator. And then team efficiency, measuring performance to ensure the right butts are in the right seats. Some of you guys wait way too long. A person isn't performing in their position. You don't really know that. Why? Because you're not measuring key performance indicators. Every single person is responsible for getting a product in their area, and that product is measured by a key performance indicator. So you guys have heard me talk about this before. We look at staff. Is the right butt in the right seat? How do we know that? We measure it by key performance indicators. If that person isn't performing, we go back to what I've said so many times before. What's your onboarding process? What's your training process? What's your apprenticeship? Many of you guys are not apprenticing your team members to have continued success and be able to grow in their position. So if you've done those things, you retrain them, you reposition them somewhere else in your organization, or you replace them. People in the wrong seats will kill your practice very quickly. I've seen this time and time again over many years of running different types of businesses all across the country. I want to talk about having predictability equals confidence, 100% total visibility. We need to be looking at everything in your business, your organization. Pressure off, performance on. Let's go. When you measure every area of your business, you replace stress with information and data. Predictability allows your team to operate with more confidence, knowing exactly where the revenue is coming from, not necessarily the next revenue stream, although some of you guys are just starting with the peptides. Some of you guys are starting with the optimal health systems. This is a new revenue stream. We want to make sure that the team is trained in on it. There's key performance indicators, there's scripts, there's all kinds of stuff. So I want to digress for 1 second here. Many of you get super excited. Parker Seminars is going on in the month, and people say, oh, I'm going to implement this new thing. But if you don't have good training, you don't have measurement of that, these systems tend to fail. So if you're going to bring in new revenue streams, it's very important that you have the systems for training, making sure you have the right person to do it, and that you're measuring the key performance indicators. Diagnosing obstacles. Break it down. Measurement allows you to identify exactly which area is not working correctly. Instead of guessing, you can use sub-indicators to pinpoint bottlenecks in the patient journey and staff workflows. I want you guys to think about this too, because I work with medical offices. When you go in an emergency situation, they are assessing your health status by blood pressure, oxygen saturation, pulse. All of these things say, hey, let's look to whatever area. How's this person breathing? Is it a cardiovascular? Is it a respiratory? Is it a digestive issue? That's how we want to look at our practice to break down the health. And we know that by those sub-indicators and the key performance indicators. So here's an example of a dashboard that you can set up for your office. Those of you who work with us know we have a very extensive KPI tracking system with graphs and percentages, and it does all the math for you. So if you need some help, let us know. But this is just a simplified version. When I teach, I like to keep it super simple. That's the KISS method. So we look at here, new patient visits, 40 per month is the target, 28 is where you're at currently, it's below target. Patient retention rate, 85%, you're at 88%. This means you're in the healthy range. So we want to set targets so you can see, and your team can see, is this an emergency? Okay, below target would be an emergency, or are you in the healthy range? I want to point a little note here. Retention, patient retention, 88%. That is where most of your offices should be. If you're not there, give me a call. Give me a call because I want to help you in that area. Average revenue per visit. So we're looking at 180. It's currently at 185. So we're in the healthy range. When we look at blood work, it's the same way. When we get our lab results back, there's going to be a red, a yellow, and then a green saying, hey, these areas are below or critically high. These areas are within going out of the range into the critical. So it's great for teams to have that as a reference point to let them know, hey, am I doing good here? What do we need to fix? And it means targeting the right person. There's nothing worse than having somebody who's highly productive, having a tough conversation with something that doesn't regard to them, but maybe they don't know it. So they think they're doing an awful job. And so you can actually set them backwards. So we look at transitioning from reactive management to data-driven predictability. We are watching graphs. That's what I was saying. Our KPI sheet has graphs on it. So you can see by taking your own little calculations on your calculator and plugging that into and getting data results. So action items for success. Audit existing data. Review what you're currently tracking and where the gaps are. If you're not tracking, do it now. If you need help and you're like, crap, I'm embarrassed. I don't care. Give us a call. Don't be embarrassed. The worst thing you can do is to continue to do what you're doing and expecting that you're going to get something different. Set baseline KPIs. Establish targets for visits, revenue, team performance. You can set targets for everything. And that's what you should be assessing on a day-to-day basis, week-to-week basis, month-to-month basis. And then you'll be seeing that you'll be hitting quarterly targets, semi-annual targets, and then your end-of-year targets. Success doesn't happen by accident. Success happens with intention and looking at the results of everything that you do in every area. There's no one that's excluded from this. Weekly KPI review. I just talked about that. Meet with your team to discuss metrics and identify any obstacles. Delegate accountability. Ensure the right team members manage specific sub-indicators. If you need help with that, again, give us a call. That's what we're here for. We want to let you know, just like if you had your grandma's favorite cookies, there is a specific recipe to that. If you miss an ingredient, you're not going to get the same product. So those sub-indicators are the ingredient so that you can get the desired result that you're looking for. So master your metrics, take control of your practice revenue today. We have something else that we call the revenue triad. You guys hear me say this time and time again. If I'm repeating it, it's because you better have it or you better get it done. Is we have a budget that we work out with you so you know exactly what you need to attract in every single week for your revenue. And then we show you based upon how many appointment slots you have in your office and the patient visit dollar amount. That lets you know how much revenue potential you have every single day, every single week, every single month. The sad part is most of you guys are only at 20% of your revenue potential. So let's capture that potential that's there by radically transforming people's lives, educating them, and taking them on an incredible journey so that they can have the best health for the rest of their lives. Thank you so much for being here. Be blessed, be a blessing, and we'll see you next time.
If this helped, give this video a like and share it with someone who needs this.